Okay? So one last one, still on the inside-outside theme. Okay? Let's just take a look. Sankyo. You don't have to do the big balance break. So he gets here and he gets his Sankyo. Now come up right to the point where you're touching my center, right there. No, not even that much. Because if their wrists are hurting too much, they're going to cave, and then they won't be able to process. And it's the same as I need to be able to talk about this while we're doing it. And if you're cranking, I'm going to have to do it, and then I won't be able to talk about it. So right here where it touches, that's enough, right there. Okay. I need to go in here and take this up. Then I can take that in and drop it with this as a neutral pivot point. Then I can release this hip. And there's a Sankyo into Ikkyo movement. Okay? Now if you try and do that by dropping that elbow without getting the kazushi, you won't go. He's got me. So I need to go in, run this up, then I can go in more and drop that elbow. So there's no pressure on my wrist here. I mean, there's a little because he was twisting it, but there's not an increase in pressure when I do this. And now I have Ikkyo. So if when you go to drop the elbow, it's hurting your wrist to do it, you don't have them yet. So don't keep going because it'll hurt your wrist. Now, if you're one of these guys with indestructible wrists, then go ahead. You know, maybe you can just force it. But the rest of us, it isn't going to go. I mean, fingertips, Sankyo. Whoa. Yeah, these are my fingers. If I try and do these big muscles, I'll just break my fingers. So I have to get in and up and then drop the elbow. And this is just a neutral pivot point. It's just a pivot point here. So there's no stress on my fingers at all. Okay? So we're going for the no increase in pressure, which here will be no increase in pain. Okay? Eventually, of course, you know, when somebody's doing Sankyo, they're trying to get inside and boom, get you going. So you're not going to have a long time on this. Eventually, as he goes for the Sankyo, I have to already be in there. Because if he gets me, I'm traveling. Okay? And then there might be another reversal at the end of that, but you're not going to get this one. But he's going to agree right now to just go up to the point where it starts to hit my center, which would be right there. Everything's getting tight now. So that I can look at how to get inside, up, stretch the energy up your spine. I came in low. I stretched up my spine. The elbow went in more, and then this, just as if there were a pin here. Now right here, it might hit his structure a little bit. Can't drop more. That means this hip needs to get out of the way. Okay, so when you hit a barrier, feel how you can flow around that. Don't go harder. The nice thing about this one is going harder is not much of a temptation, because if you go harder, it hurts. Feel it. Okay, so, right, keep going. There, oh, that's where it's starting to really get me. Everything's locking up. The flow to my center is pretty strong. The structure's getting locked. So I go inside that, come up your spine, drop the elbow inside. Now, preferably I would do that before you even got it that far into the lock. Okay? If we were doing this on the flow, you're going for the Sankyo, I feel what's coming, and I went right into that spot. You never hit my center. But for practice, as long as they're willing to just go up to that point and hold it and not crank the hell out of you, then you can kind of feel like, oh, this is hitting me. I got inside that. This starts to give you that same sense of the, you know, what do they mean when they're talking about inside and outside? Okay, I got to get inside you. Not just inside your focal point, but inside you. Okay? Then you can start messing them up. A lot of this stuff, there's inside your physical power, you know, like we were talking about. This is where your focal point is for all your power, so I get inside that. But then there's inside where I go. Inside you and go wooga wooga. You feel it when we're kind of going around in there? That's this connection. You can do that as you're coming in. I go, I already had you. Right? Because when you get target lock on with me, you know, if you're not comatose, you're resonating with me a little bit, which means that I can change sort of my frequency, and because you're already resonating with me, because you've got lock on, it'll change you, even at a distance. Okay? This is what the really good guys are doing. You know, somebody like Saotome Sensei, you never felt like you did a good attack on him. You always, when you got there, it's always sort of screwed up. That's because he's already messing you up before you ever got there. As you get better, you start feeling him do it. You can realize, or if he decides to really kind of and let you feel it. But when it's really subtle, it's like you just, you know, you did the attack and you go, okay, let's do that again. You know, you always feel like, oh, no, I screwed that up. Now I'm going to get you. But he's doing it to you. A really good guy, somebody who's really good, the uke never really feels like he got the attack that he's capable of, because they're already messing him up. Somebody like Mary Heine Sensei will do it by never being there when you get there. I mean, she's just like she's there, and you go, yeah, and just as you're getting here, she's like there, and you're going, ah, and you know, you're already messed up that way. Other people, somebody like Saotome Sensei or Ikeda Sensei now, Ushiro, any of these guys, as you're coming, they're going inside and they're doing the wooga wooga on your insides. The Systema guys do this. And it's like they're already reaching in going, whoa, and you're going, whoa. And you arrived here, not here, but here. And you're going, well, that wasn't, oh God, you know, you feel like you tripped over your shoelaces or something. Come in with your hara. Bring that hip into him. Ah, see him start to waver? Feel yourself going in there? See him getting wobbly? See him getting wobbly? Now, take your elbow forward, and just start to drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it. And right here, take this hip away from him, and just keep dropping it, and there's your Ikkyo. It's just that easy. It slices it, dices it, juliennes.
I'm big, I have big wrists.
That doesn't make any difference.
It does when she tries to come down my wrist.
Okay, put it on more. Oh, that's right. Okay. This is where it's hitting. Ideally, I would run this before it even hit this point, because I don't really want him to ever get here because it hurts. But in, up, over, drop, 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 drop. Oh, there's the Ikkyo curve. Drop on top of it. That did not hurt my wrist anymore. There was no increase in pressure on my wrist at all. Okay? So if the size of your wrist makes any difference, there's still a collision happening.
Okay.
Here, let me do it. Let me feel it, so I can feel it once you back up so this can get filmed. Right? Okay, so I'm going to take this right up to right about here. Okay, so see, there's where it touches your center. If I move here, you move. That's when you know. Yeah. Okay, so without any harder than it. Now, come in, almost like you're pushing the elbow forward a little bit. That's enough. Okay. Now, what would happen if you got taller? Everything went up. Not just back there, but this goes up too. Now, keep coming in. Now, push the elbow in more and start to drop it. Now, see how right here it's starting to get a little hard? Okay, because you're starting to hit my structure here. You got me going. So keep dropping the elbow, but take the hip away from me.
I feel an increase in pressure there, though.
Yeah, there's a little bit. So go in more, start to drop it. Okay, keep the flow here. See how this is trying to move? Don't move it. Make it a pivot point, like there's a pin right here. So this is going to drop around that pin and release that hip. Now, right here, bend your knees. In other words, get the Sankyo on me. it's not all going to be this. See, because the pressure built up at that point. It was some of that. This is getting you going. 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 But see right here, if I don't do anything else, it's going to start. So then this gets you going. This gets you going. This gets you going. And when it gets to here, it's not really holds tight, really strong, really trying to crank that. Well, actually now the rest of it's this way. It's not in that spot anymore. That rotation did what it needed to do. And then I just drop you, slide you down, Subaru, slide you down on the Ikkyo curve. So that the Sankyo only needs to mess his vertical up. So he's trying to mess my vertical up. So I get inside, run it up his spine and move him on his Ikkyo curve, then start to drop here. And once he's here, maybe this doesn't want to go anymore. Wow, he's still really strong. That's okay, because I have him. But I didn't run the rest of it there, because like you said, you're feeling the pressure build up. As long as you have him tilted, you can drop your whole weight down his Ikkyo curve. You get Kazushi right there. Oh, okay. How can you tell? If he moves, I move. Okay, so we have a direct connection to the center. I need to go under that and inside, up your spine. Now I'm going to release this hip a little bit so you're shifting on your Ikkyo curve. I'm going to keep this going in. Now, there's a pin right here, an imaginary pin, and this is going to pivot on it. Now, if this starts getting hard, it means that this has done what it needed to do, but look at you. Now the rest of it's on your Ikkyo curve, not the hand. I'm not doing the rest of it by rotating there. If it starts getting the point where it's building up pressure again, you need to run it someplace else. Okay? So really all I need, because once they're like this, you can drop that Ikkyo curve to the floor just by dropping on top of them. So the actual beating your Sankyo is there. Martially, I don't need to be able to do the rest of it here, because I have you. And then there it is. Does it make sense? Okay. You can get that before they sink it. It's like, whoa. You never really had a chance at it. So my whole thing is, don't tighten up and defend. Enter. Enter, 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 enter. Everything just goes to the center. So if I was going to the center, and then you got me, and you're getting that, and you're going for the Sankyo, you know, it's like, oh, I already took it again. I never resisted it. I stayed with you. As you made the shift for that technique, I just went inside again. That's why the back and forth drill at the beginning. The guys sometimes will have you. Can you get it back? Okay, that's how Kaeshiwaza works. Too fast. Just go slow. He's getting the Sankyo. I'm giving him the Sankyo. He gets it and he touches my center. How do we know that he's touched my center? If he moves, I move. So we have a center to center. Now I learn how to get inside that, float him, release him on his Ikkyo curve, and then start to drop this as if it's a pivot point so it's not stressing me out. If I get to the point where he's so strong here that this trying to drop the elbow hurts, but look at this. It's not here anymore. It's already here. I don't need it to be there anymore. So he can be as strong as he wants right there, and I'm running his center. So go slow. It's too easy to just beat it before it's ever there, and then you don't learn how to do the center to center. Okay?